Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in my front room. In my gallery room, actually. This is my ring pour cup, mostly without dust. This is my studio rag, which I always keep a damp studio rag to wipe off my spatulas and things. This is Deco-Art Americana 24 karat gold in my big bottle. I have a whole lot of colors that I've chosen. And what goes in first will come out last, supposedly. So I think, being that I like this purple and that gold, I will consistently attempt. Oh, I thought all of these were open. I guess I'll just use a different one for right now. Right after I make that available in a moment. This is a Deco-Art Americana Emerald Green. I recently tried to use these colors in another composition, and I overworked the composition. It's on Phoenix Rising, Priscilla Batzell art. And I like the overlapping ribbons much more than I like the finished result. I'm just going to keep having trouble with these bottles because I didn't... Yep. Okay then. I see how I am. Let's give this one a little bit of a... Oh. I got most of it out of there. Cool. I really wanted some of that turquoise metallic. Has iridescent pearl fine by Golden in it. And you might want to remove your threads from your bottles once in a while because little bits and pieces of those wind up in the tip along with other things. Yes, I have splooged myself with some dioxidine purple. And I'm going to give myself some more purple. That is the Floetrol multi-surface neon purple. This is the purple flash from color shifting purple from Deco-Art. I used this turquoise a second ago, and this is, I wish that phone would stop ringing. This is a turquoise color shift from Deco-Art. I really wish that phone would stop ringing. And this is a, let's see, what's my brand? I was using Master's Touch, but I've also used any other version. It comes as a full body. It's Prussian blue, and you do have to cut it with more pouring medium to get it to work right. I'm not sure what this is. I'm pretty sure it's got iridescent pearl fine in it to make it shimmer. And I think I want this dioxidine purple to actually go in there rather than the lid sitting there. I didn't miss the answering machine while I was outside, but at least there's no bugs in here. And the under areas of my eyes are not getting damp. Let's do that again. Purple. A little more of this Deco-Art multi-surface, and the purple flash is really similar. And I want some of this, a little bit of the... it's a forest green or a Christmas green, and it's got some iridescent pearl fine in it. I wanted some more blue than I've got. This is the Mysterious from Masterminds that isn't available anymore, that people are creating recipes for. Thank you, Gail. This is, I think, a Venetian blue that usually sinks out of sight. I am going to throw a little bit of white pearl in there. And a little bit more of that Deco-Art Americana Emerald Green. I think I'm just going to make as much of a full cup as I can bring myself to do. And somebody is just really, really in need of getting in touch with us, evidently. And I will request my husband answer the phone or hang it up while I'm recording from now on. I'm so sorry about that. Oh well, what can you do? I would like that phone to stop ringing, please. I'm going to take it off the hook next time. Alright. If you're going to take that phone call, can you take it outside? Please? Please, please, please. Alright, so I've got an OXO omelet turning spatula, and I've been thinking about this outside edges scenario. And I want to do a ring pour. And I want it to be traveling. Whoa, almost dropped that. And if I just tap over the edge, I'll probably get some paint dripping down anyway. And it's not 90 degrees in here, it's only about 80. Which means that the paint shouldn't dry too fast if I have something of a slightly heavier layer. Makes me curious who wanted to get in touch with us so bad they needed to call 3 times in a row. Should be no emergencies. That would be good. No emergencies is always good. So, I'm trying not to concern myself with all that white space, but the truth is I have some leftover paint from yesterday, and I kind of want to put it right in the middle and see what happens with it. And then put that remaining dish in the bucket. And looks like there's going to be lumps, more than one lump. That could have been a mistake. But I added some fresh paint to it right before I quit for the day yesterday. And this is my theory that paint will flow to paint, so it doesn't matter what I'm putting in the center. If it helps paint flow, and I might put a little gold around the inside of that black. But rather than waste other paint to put a layer, somebody coined a name. I think it was Mina Velagas that coined a name for the paint spread around to make other paint flow well. Let's throw that right in the bucket. Let's go to town. Oh yeah, I said gold. Alright, so that's what I want there. Actually, I want a little bit in the center too. Because I'm really thinking it's going to fill in. And I want to make asymmetrical formations. I want to make patterns that do not look the same on all sides. I'm not trying for a starburst or anything similar to that. And I definitely want to see what that gold is going to do. Oh cool, the gold and the other colors have done something interesting. Now I'm going to grab my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst Spatula, my number 1. They're on the Amazon link under the link tree. The link tree has all my other links on it except for my email address, and it's right under the video. But this time I'm going to try really hard to pay attention as I go along. And if there's something that I like, I'm going to try and stop and save it somehow. Alright, that's going in the bucket. I usually save some of that for other things. But like the edges. I'm going to grab an edge catcher. Well, yeah I will. There we go. I'm going to run my finger down the side right quick. Get rid of any of that black that's dripping right down. The black actually goes pretty far. That turntable's going pretty far too. There, that's almost covered. That's convenient. Now I'm going to use my wet rag, get the excess paint off my fingers, which I will rinse out. And I really liked the organic shapes I was getting with the piece I did that I said I posted on Phoenix Rising Priscilla Batzell art. And I really loved the gold, and I really couldn't keep very much of it at that point in time, or at least I didn't understand that I could. My gold is getting somewhat swallowed, which means I'm happy that what I left over here is still here. I don't think there's going to be any of that gray. There's going to be no problem with that gray left. I can't believe people are out walking the road in this heat. Now if I need to make up another ring pour cup, I can. I set a timer. The camera will shut off in 20 minutes. I'm going to put a bottle of paint in front of it. I got 6 minutes left. I should be okay. One of these days I'm going to blow up a balloon and have it handy, so if I want to do something like that. But this particular piece, I just really wanted the stripes that I saw. And a lot of times I do stripes in batches and tip them. I don't really want any paint to escape, but if it hits the edge catcher, that's my perfect opportunity to rock the edge catcher after I level it back. And I can also drag that paint down to the other side and use it on that edge as well. It's a little messy, but it's sort of a new way of doing things for me. I used the black because I suspected I might like to have some negative space around the edge if I wanted to stop my pattern from flowing. I don't necessarily have all the organic looking stripy pattern that I wanted, but I haven't given up yet either. So I'll let that flow right down. It could be really pretty. Rock my edge catcher to also force that rivulet of paint to flow down. And I can scrape it off if I'm careful. I can scrape it off if I'm not careful too. I just get paint on me, that's all. I'm going to grab another OXO omelet turning spatula on the Amazon link where you can shop at no added cost to you. And it really helps me out and I appreciate it. What I'm thinking is, as I'm putting this paint down on this one end here that I haven't really tipped much of, that if I'm fast and I bring that edge catcher over here before most of it rolls away, I can use it to pull down some more patterns. Kind of feel like I'm losing the patterns a little bit, but I also haven't torched. I'm going to torch to release that. I see that thing in there. All right, I have, do I still see it? No, I lost it, darn. Yes, I see it. It's under that gold. I see a lump right there. Yeah, really? I lose it every time I lift it up. Let's see. There we go. I got it now. Believe me, the Floetrol flattens and levels everything out, so it would definitely show tomorrow. I'm just going to move that right down. I think it's going to be pretty if I can get the bottom edge to have some paint on it. Which means I'm going to take all of this paint that's on my edge catcher and use it right there on my bottom edge. That worked pretty well, I think. As opposed to what I was planning, which is still not impossible that could happen, which is to add some more paint. But I'm loving the colors in this. I really, really am. And all of my blue mud is very pretty, iridescent, shimmering, sort of like I would imagine people use the Payne's Gray all the time for a neutral, and so my shimmering blue mud is my neutral. And there's nothing that says that I can't go ahead and add in any paint that I want somewhere along the way here. Got all kinds of pretty paint. All the way up there. I'm going to be cleaning up, I can tell you now, for a little while. I don't know, I'm messier inside than I ever was outside, it seems like. And I want a little bit more right along this edge. I want to flow that paint down, I really, really do. My turntable moves a whole lot easier in here, which is not necessarily a good thing when I'm trying to get paint off it to use. I clean my turntable after most of my exploits, so I don't really have lumps on my turntable for the most part. Let's bring that edge catcher back, along with that large lump of paint I didn't put in my, I have a cup that catches all my threads. I paint my squeeze bottle threads. So pretty quick here. And I kind of really wish that I could release some cells when I torch, but mostly before you tip is a good time to do some cell releasing with the heat from the torch. I'm going to roll that down there and then throw that back in there and let that flow up that way. I don't know if I have any need of any of the paint on my edge catcher, but it's there if I want it to cover my edges. And that is gorgeous! Hey, success! It's time for me to take a brief moment and wipe off my arm. They're not as prominent, the stripes, as I was hoping they would be, but they're beautiful, so I'm really, really, really not complaining. And I've got a place where I held onto the canvas down here, which is the perfect place to put some of that paint. If I'm quick enough, it won't seal itself to my tile, and it shouldn't since I'm not outside. And I definitely want to run my fingers along the edges to stop any paint from pulling the rest of the paint under. There's quite a bit there. Any place I should put that? Maybe right here? I like the black, but I like using all my paint almost as much. That'll teach me for cleaning up my hands before I'm ready. Can also use a damp sponge, very, very wrung out sponge, and very level underneath the edges to stop the paint from flowing off. Because the paint that's flowing off will pull other paint patterns down over. I've got some great sales coming up, and I want to find my torch. I'll tell you guys, I do sell my artwork. My email address is under the Linktree link where all the other links are found. I want to thank you for all of the contributions that have helped keep me painting all this time and the wonderful comments. If you'd like to be a studio supporter, you can be automatically entered in the monthly drawing that you can see the prizes for on the exhibition video that's posted in the last 20 seconds on the end screens of any video. This is very non-specific, but it's also very oil slick, and I love oil slick. It doesn't have a lot of pattern, but it sort of doubles as a rest area, so I'm loving that. So if you guys will give me a thumbs up and share my videos, both of those things are really appreciated. The only thing that's better than that is if you watch them longer, and if you watch them when they first come out, because I'm judged on how many people watch the video in the first hour for the algorithms. Boy, I'm happy with this. I know it's not the same as some other ring pours, but it wasn't really a ring pour anyway. It was way more of a traveling ribbon. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the shares, thank you for watching longer. If you want a torch, it's to release the bubbles caught in the paint when I shake them in my bottles, and or when you mix them. You still get air in there, and they will form, they will harden, or they will pop and leave little pock marks. Under the link tree, you'll find Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter links. Also, Facebook groups, Expressionist Art Studio fans and collectors will show you the YouTube wet and dry, well, it'll show you YouTube artworks edited, shall we say. If you ever want to request something or want a print made of something, please just take the hashtag and the date from the title of any video, and I'll get back to you. I'll post them on either Teespring Clothing or Fine Art America, where Teespring has all over print leggings and all over print t-shirts. Takes me about an hour to put a design together, but it's worth it. And if you like it, then maybe somebody else will too, and that would be helpful. My Amazon link is under the link tree, and if you shop there, as I said, it's at no added cost to you, and you can find the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas, cameras, tents, paint of all kinds, canvases, all kinds of pouring pictures, everything you can imagine. If you guys have questions, please feel free. Just ask me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can in comments. Or you can use my email if you must. And what else is there? I know there's something else. Amazon has my 2 books, Volume 1 and Volume 2. The first one is Because I Can. The second one is Unlimited Possibilities. And my pouring recipe is underneath, in the main body of the description, underneath the link tree and my email address. And I do sell my artwork, and I do give lessons at the house. So if you want to use my email address for either one of those things, I'm happy to respond to you. I love you guys. There's 89,000 or 200 away from 89,000 as of this date when I'm making this video. And I will see you anon. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the front room, reminding you to check out that exhibition video. And I use PayPal and Patreon, and they are both on my channel header, and also PayPal is my preference, and it is under the link tree. I love you guys. Maybe I'll zoom in. There we go. That's the best I can do. I know, I'm sorry about the reflections in here, but I gotta have some lights. It doesn't work otherwise. You guys, I'll see you anon. Bye for now. Priscilla out.